Welcome, and thank you for joining me for this segment of What Women Bring, a closer look, where today I have the opportunity to sit down with Marcela Rabens, Media Honoree What Women Bring 2023. This tenacious and dedicated immigrant tells us of all the many hats she wears, how she uses her talents to keep her community informed, and the importance of communities working together to strengthen us all. Please join me. Welcome, Marcela Rabens, our Media Honoree for 2023 What Women Bring. Thank you for joining me today.
Thank you so much for having me. It's a wonderful opportunity for me to be here, and I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Well, I appreciate just the humble way that you accepted the award. You were very humbled, and I was humbled and honored to be able to recognize you because you do so much. You do so much for the community, particularly for your community.
Well, thank you so much. I think I am doing whatever I can. I wish I could do more, but sometimes need more resources, more help. And it's hard sometimes to cover all the news, what's going on around the community, especially right now when Latino community are growing in numbers in all the South Carolina and the Tri-County. Compared with when I came to United States back in 2002, it was only like maybe 3 grocery stores Latinos.
Wow.
And it was only a few Latinos, maybe a couple of hundreds, but now we are thousands.
Yeah.
Thousands, and a Latino community are growing here. And I'm glad some politics, some people who are in charge of budget are thinking about us, and hopefully soon they're gonna set up some budget to and just work as a community all together, you know. And I already find out a lot more about YWCA, and I wanna let you know how people think about your organizations. It's really doing a lot too for the community.
Thank you.
And maybe we want to just work together too, and maybe be a little bit more close in some projects and some stuff. And because I think in the women's war in the United States, we all, not only United States, in all the war, we are facing the same issues sometimes. Many.
Absolutely, we are. I think that, and we do want to do more because we get so bogged down in trying to fix our communities. But if we can bring our communities together, because if we think about how this country has created these divisions, because that's the only way that we are held down, because we're not coming together. So YWCA is definitely open to doing more partnerships with other communities that are being oppressed and where the disparities are very evident. So yeah, please count us in.
Yeah, we definitely gonna work together, and I'm very excited.
Me too.
And maybe after this interview, we're gonna sit and then start having another conversation out of the record, you know?
Oh, absolutely.
and just see how can we keep working together and helping each other as a community.
Yeah.
I have a big respect for the African American community. I always know great people in the community, great leadership. And now some people also is going, like 2 days ago, the new mayor of North Charleston is Reggie Burgess.
Yes.
Police office. It was a police officer, and he became a chief of the police. And I saw him for many years since I've been covering the news for the Latinos.
Right.
And it was a great day for everybody, I think.
Oh yeah.
And I saw a lot of people in the watch party results of the elections 2 nights ago, and I feel like that sentiment for the people, sharing each other, hugging each other.
Yes.
And also, I was happy too because I feel and see that is the democracy. and it's really I always in favor of the democracy. I want everybody to be part of that.
Right.
I never say using the media, vote for this or nothing.
Right.
I just put the information, and I always tell everybody, please read each candidate, find the information,
Yes.
and make your choices, make your own research.
Right.
With who is who. And just think about it before you vote somebody. Not just because somebody tell you, oh, vote for me, or your
Right.
friend telling you, or somebody the ad is telling you.
Yeah.
You know, it just do your own work.
Right.
But talking about maybe democracy in my community, in the Latinos, I think we need to do more work. It's a lot of young citizens, American citizens, Latinos, the first generations who are born in the United States, who grow, they are already 18 years old,
Right.
but they never vote.
Wow.
And
Yes.
I think we need to work on it. We need to work more on it and invite them, make part of this process.
Right.
Invite them. And maybe I want to tell you something
Please.
about this. For example, I came from Peru.
Right.
And I'm an immigrant. And sometimes, I'm very excited when I see election day because I cover the news. I go and see the results,
Yeah.
and see the numbers, who is the winner, and give the people the news, who won the election, or who is the winner, or
Right.
who is counting, and like that. In Peru, compared with the United States, we got a vote in Peru. It's mandatory. You got to
Really?
vote. It's the one day in election, everybody got to vote. Everybody 18 years old and up, ready to vote.
How do they make that happen?
It's like a law.
It's a law. Okay.
Yeah, you got to go vote. It's mandatory. It's not a law. It's mandatory.
Right.
And everybody got to vote, because if you don't vote that day, your ID, when you go vote, they put like a sticker.
Oh.
You don't have that sticker next day, you cannot travel. You cannot go to the bank. When you go to the bank, move money or put money or cash the check and say, oh, you didn't vote. You got to pay a fee. And the
Wow.
fee is very expensive. It's like maybe half of the month's salary or something like that. It's very expensive. And that's the reason election, everybody's got to, we got to vote, we got to go vote. It's something like, well, if you don't like any candidate, at least you got to just
Something. Write
something,
in. Do
write
something.
in or do
Yes.
something.
Yes.
But at least you got to go and get your sticker,
Wow.
and your ID.
I actually think I love that, because
Yeah.
that is more, to me, it makes sure that everyone is a part of the process.
Yeah.
As opposed to, in this country, we've had more problems helping people vote.
Exactly.
We put barriers. There's so many barriers.
Yeah, and instead, I think everybody,
Yeah.
as we people, I think everybody need to be the voice and
Yes.
ask the governments of the lawmakers to just make this happen, make possible. Everybody should be part of this process. And I was compared with Peru, and here is here you gotta register, which is good,
Yeah.
because everybody makes sure who you are,
Yes.
you're ready to vote, you qualify for everything, but after you register, you gotta vote. But I saw many people sometimes didn't vote.
Really?
Yeah, a lot of people that doesn't vote, and they say, oh, I forgot to register, or maybe,
Yeah.
oh, I forgot it was coming the election, or some people, the answer is oh, I don't trust anybody,
Yeah.
it's I lost my faith in
Yeah.
politics or something. But I always tell them, be part of that.
Right.
Do your part,
Right.
do something. But you only criticize, you only complain, you don't help us in the process. And
Right.
please help us. I always give the voice using the media, the tools I have to give the word out to my Latino community, of course, in Spanish.
Yes. Well, that's incredible. But in thinking about you being the voice for the Latino community, particularly as it relates to the news, what made you start doing that? How did you decide that this is where you should be what you should be doing?
Oh, because when I was in Peru, I was working in the communications.
Okay.
I started my career on the radio station. When I was 15 years old, I launched like a show, music show, and that's funny. Maybe everybody wanna find out about it. As a Latina, probably everybody says, "Oh, she will play salsa, music, Latin music," but I started playing rock and roll.
At 15?
Yeah, I was very Led Zeppelin, Beatles, and all this style. And I love that music. I love my music, nothing wrong. I know how to dance salsa, bachata, and all this stuff, but I'm a rock and roll girl, and I love Latina girls too. I love my music too,
I love that. I love these interviews because I get to know things that you would not ordinarily think or know.
Exactly. And some people, they know me as a Latina. I remember my first friend when I met them from here, local Charlestonians. And they like, Marcela, why do you want to play music? And I start playing. They say, oh, you love this music. You know the singer. I say, yeah, I know. I hear this music since I was a child.
Right.
Because in our house, they play always rock and roll and all types of music. But I'm very passionate about this good music.
Yeah.
Pink Floyd, Led Zeppelin, all these huge bands. It's still now good.
It's still good.
It's still good. Yeah, I started out my career in the radio, and after that, I studied in all those, and I become more aware what was happening in the politics in Peru, and the corruption sadly still happens. And I decided to produce a news program when I was, I don't know, maybe 20. I was the most younger in the small town, the small city. I remember when I started this news, I went to Lima, the capital of Peru, and I recorded my presentation, all the more professional, back in the time, many years ago. It was tapes, it was big cameras, no iPhones, nothing. And
yes,
it was
that big camera that you had to hold on your shoulder.
The big tapes.
Yes.
And it was a little bit difficult. After that, I was reporting for the national TV, as Channel 5 in Peru. For a while, but I remember when I only launched my show in the radio about the news and interviewing people, talking about these issues, most about corruptions. Then other radio stations, then other producers, what they was longer in the market in production, they start trashing me out, because I was young, I was woman, but I was very strong, and I become more strong. I produced more and more.
Right.
In 2001, when I came to United States, as any immigrant, I came here looking for success. I started cleaning homes. And my job, I was learning English. My English was not too good. I think it's still not too good, But at least I could communicate it with people. I could talk to you. I could talk with people, and I was missing my job a lot. Sometimes when I come back home, I feel like, and also when I start driving around and I see the necessity in the community about providing news, what's going on, resources, in a community. And I knocked the door for some local radio station and asked them if I could work. And I was not interested, honestly, in doing music. Right. Because I done that when I was more young. Yes. And I was more in news issues, produce news program. But they didn't pay attention too much on that because this is a small community, know. And I'm like, okay. The one day I decide. I never did newspaper. It was always radio. Yeah, it was radio, TV, all recording and edit and all this. And, do this printing, it was like a different world for me. Right. And no experience at all. And I'm like, oh gosh, how are you gonna do this? And I start writing everything, putting the whole project in my computer and say, it gotta be like a designer. I need to find a designer who's gonna design, an editor who's going to help me editing and every stuff. Printer, Yes. Remember I went to Post and Courier. Actually, Post and Courier was the first one who started printing. Wow. But not through exactly Post and Courier because they were so busy. When I came to here, they sent me to the same company, Georgetown Times in Georgetown. I remember I went over there. I sit with that whole team, and they guided me how we're gonna print, how we're gonna send the files and everything. We set up the system, and in 2005, I print my first issue of Universal News Charleston.
Wow.
The local news, local information. And it was a great day. It was a good year. Immediately people start calling me because I put the name Universal. I didn't know Mexico has Universal newspaper. And some people thought, hey, this is Universal from Mexico, and just trying to reproduce another one in America, you know. No. I said, no, nothing. I don't know. I even didn't know it was Universal newspaper in Mexico, but no, it's just local. It's just Universal News local, you know, and it's not Mexican. And I start receiving many calls from different companies, different organizations, and that's I start printing.
Wow.
But at the same time, maybe people think, oh yeah, I start printing, everything is easy and money comes just like that. No, it was really hard because I work when the deadlines come, because a lot of pages and a lot of information. I even work sometimes until 2, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning. And I woke up 7 to keep cleaning homes.
Wow.
To provide income in my house and my company, because it was not ready to go by itself. And I did that for many months, until finally one day I just focus more in doing news and focus more in Universal News. And thanks, I want to thanks to my community.
Yes.
Everybody who supported me since the first day. But mostly, I will let you know, I always have support for my own community, Latinos.
Absolutely.
Because I always feel they always support me.
Yes.
They always. I just being laying on them, and they always be like, Marcela, we help you, because they see my work, they see what I'm doing. Of course, I'm not gonna say another, community don't support me, like African American, thank you to you right now supporting me. Every communities, because Charleston has a lot of diversity. And this is make me feel I learn a lot from other communities, from you, from your community, from other communities. I always Korean community, and I'm like, oh, this is cool, It's a lot of backgrounds, a lot of races, and it's beautiful.
Well, it takes a lot of bravery, tenacity, strength. You coming here from Peru, not speaking the language, and look at where you are, and your English is good.
Oh, thank you. Still
it's
improving.
good.
I'm still working on it. Okay, but after that, in 2015, because every time people need something, they call me. Still, but I'm happy to help them always. And it was a big necessity in find local resources available for the communities.
Right.
And I just figured it out and create Charleston Latin Guy. It's the guy where everybody find the local resources.
Right.
Charleston Latin Guy I created in 2015.
Yeah. I love that.
Online, and also printing once a year.
Yeah.
It has the content on all local resources. For example, if in my community somebody is sick, don't have insurance, and what they gonna do?
Right.
And they call me, and I find out it's a lot of organizations, local medical places, it's low cost, and some of them is no cost at all.
Right.
And I find all these local places and make the list.
Yeah.
All of them. The phone number, address, everything. And also when people need information, emergency contacts. And I find a whole emergency contacts, the local police officer, fire department, everything, the Latinos, the government's offices, everything is here in one place. And I print once a year and give it for free to the community.
Wow.
And the people use it a lot, and it made me happy because this is the tool what they was waiting for, and it's the only one local Latino guy, and And I created that in 2015. I still printing now.
Wow.
That.
And it's gorgeous. It's beautiful, but it
Thank
also
you.
has so many.
Yeah.
It has so many resources. I
Yeah,
love
has-
this.
Yeah.
I love that.
Of course, has the list also the public libraries, consulates, because as an immigrant, when I come here, I need to get my passport. Oh, I don't know, what is the consulate, Chile, or Mexico, or Honduras, and they call me all the time, and I'm like, hey, GuiaLatina, you know,
Yes.
GuiaLatina Charleston or Charleston Latin guy
Yes.
is there, but I still always giving the information to them when I ask for to. It also is online. Unfortunately, in the COVID time, the company who was hosting my two websites, Universal Latin News and Charleston Latin Guy, went to bankruptcy, just closed.
Oh.
And I lost my two websites in
Oh, wow.
2022. It was a really tough year for
Yeah.
me because I had health issues and I had surgery twice and I was in the hospital. But I create now two websites, a local, not too fancy, but I'm working two of them. It's coming soon. It's the biggest one with all technology and yeah.
You are amazing.
Thank you.
The way you bounce back, the way you just keep moving, a
Yeah.
real resource to the community.
Thank
for
you.
real.
Thank
So I
you.
want to end on one thing that you said during the event, and you were really passionate about this, in my opinion, was don't let this empowering women time today, this one luncheon, be the only time that we come together and be empowered. You wanted everyone to leave that luncheon knowing that we have to do this all the time.
All the time, every day, every time when you send me the email, I don't ignore it. Sorry, sometimes I don't answer quickly.
You're
It took me
fine.
like 2 weeks, 3 days, but I answer back. I
Yes.
know everybody, and let me tell you, LaVanda, I really admire you a lot
Oh,
because
thank you.
as a head of that organization, YWCA, sometimes I got experience when the CEOs, they work some of them, I don't know all of them, I don't want to say names here, you know. They just go home and they just forgot about it. But I find out when I was answering emails, and you answered me back at 10 o'clock, it was 10:30, and you answered back again, and I'm like, I send another email, are you still working? And you send me back, yes, I'm still working. And I'm like, I thought I was the only person who works sometimes until midnight or
Yes.
want to finish the job,
Gotta
1
finish
o'clock,
it.
2 o'clock.
Yes.
And you was just right there, answer the emails. And I'm like, wow, this lady is the head, but she's in charge. Seriously.
Thank
and
you.
just doing the job.
Yeah.
And I just really admire you and the passion you put in and the way you're doing your role
Thank you.
as a CEO. And really, really.
Thank you. This is about you,
You
though.
are the sample. Yeah, you are the big
Well,
example
thank
for
you.
every CEOs who
Thank
watch
you.
it.
You
wanna
know
watch
what?
this.
Our mission is so important to me. And during that time, I was communicating with all of the honorees and
Yeah.
trying to make sure that we had an opportunity to represent you well. So for me, it meant I don't go to sleep until I have all this stuff
you
together.
did a great job, and you keep
Thank you.
doing a good job. Well, that day I said, because I am always, in all these years I'm working in news, I met hundreds of people. I have a contacts of hundreds of people. And sometimes I went hundreds of events because I'm working 18 years in Charleston. That's the reason some people, when they see me, say, oh, I remember Marcela, because they send me someplace, somewhere. And I'm like, I see this, and they make me a little bit sad, not angry, sad, because people say, oh yeah, when you met, yeah, we're gonna work together, we're gonna help each other, you know. But after finish that event, after that, you don't hear about them anymore.
Yeah.
You send email, they even didn't take the time to reply the email.
Wow.
And I got those names and put in the wall in my office, and I'm like, okay. But sometimes I say I gotta send email again, because sometimes I understand everybody's very busy.
That's true.
Everybody has their own schedule tie and their own projects, and they struggle to maybe. But hey, ladies, please, as a women's, we have sometimes the same issues. Just help each other. Just say, hey, let's have a cup of coffee.
Yeah.
You know, relax after the work.
Yes.
Just do something fun. Maybe that's gonna be the way we're gonna be more hanging out. Maybe you know, because
exactly.
we, as a women's in business and entrepreneurs on the staff, everybody's busy. That's the reason sometimes. And when I wanna have a good time with my clients who owns businesses, I say, hey, let's go have one night dinner, or let's do dance, something, you know. And they like, I have a great time, Marcela. Yeah, because you always working and you always in charge and a bunch of stuff. And we need to just stop a little bit and just do something different.
Just do something
and
different.
Just having fun, just talking about some stuff, you know. I really feel great when you did this event because I took my time to just that day get even a makeup, you know, because sometimes we just rush. We don't do like my friend sat and the TV and say, Marcela, she offered me free nail
manicure.
And they say, I could give you free because you never had like a polish your nails, you know, nice manicure. And I'm like, yeah, thank you so much, you know.
Nice.
But I gotta put in
on your calendar because you gotta make time.
Yeah, because I gotta make time because always we fill it up the calendars with all these issues, more for everybody. But sometimes we forget about ourselves, and it happens most of the times. And women's entrepreneurs, CEOs, and all. But please, if somebody's gonna watch this video, set up a time, call me for coffee, call me maybe to go dance salsa.
I want to do that.
Concert or anything.
Yeah.
I will teach you how to dance salsa, LaVanda.
I practiced
reggaeton.
a little bit, but I could really use a real teacher.
Maybe do something different. You know? Okay, and I'm so happy to be here today.
Oh, I'm so happy to have you. This has been great. I have learned so much about you, and there's so much more to know because this tenacity of yours and how you just keep bouncing back. I'm gonna dig deeper into that at one of our salsa lessons or coffee. But for today, I just want to say thank you for bringing the truth, being honest. I really appreciated just your candor at the event and really showing us your passion and giving us a call to action to do more beyond the event. So I'm going to take that personally and professionally as a call to action to get together more with the women around me.
Well, thank you so much again for having me.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you so much, everybody who is going to watch this video. I hope you could understand English is my second language. And Spanish, I'm very good. It's English, I still working on it.
Well, you're great.
Thank you.
And I understood everything.
Thank you, LaVanda.
And I love it.
Thank you,
so much.
YWCA.
Absolutely. Thank you.